All right. Well, hello everybody, and welcome. We're live. That was quick.
We're live.
Didn't even get to a music introduction. Well, we changed locations from the back hallway of the Rio. Place was not what we wanted, so we came over here to our good friends, Cinch Jeans and Shirts, Jessica Whaler, who might be one of the greatest human beings of all time, allowed us to go. She's walking away. She knows we're full of caca.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes, thank you to our partners here that let us come over here to this way better. We already have a bigger crowd than we've had total. Over at that other show. Yeah. So appreciate them very much.
And also, you always say that I fudge numbers, but every day I've got the numbers for real. Okay, the numbers for real from Fergie. So our numbers have been awesome for everybody that's listening on iTunes or Apple Music or whatever you listen to. Thank you for downloading RümpChät. We're knocking out at least 5,000 downloads a day,
at least
during NFR. So everybody's listening. Thank you guys. We're having a great time.
And you know, it's going to get better too as everybody's driving home.
Yeah,
flying home. There's going to be about 15 hours of you and I. Yeah. Dumb crap. We do have to watch cussing more than
we won't
here.
We won't cuss as much as normal. Okay.
It's JJ, no F-bombs. Let's introduce our guest today.
Yeah.
Go for it, Rump.
Okay. I want to introduce our guest right here. One of the pioneers, one of the coolest chicks, not only a breakaway roper, a team roper, a cowgirl, a real estate agent that everybody knows. Okay. And I think she's so awesome for the sport. The first time I've told a lot of people this, I was, as a rodeo clown, when we got the breakaway roping at pro rodeos, at first I was like kind of against it. I was like, man, I don't know about another event, and I don't know about breakaway ropers. But after we started having breakaway ropers at our rodeos, I realized something. Breakaway ropers are cool. They like to drink beer and hang out. And after getting to hang out,
that's what makes you cool.
Well, no, but what I'm saying was fun. Once I got to be around them, I'm like, man, I like breakaway ropers now. And we were in Rapid City, and we're at the hospitality tent, and I got to meet JJ. And I'm like, that chick there needs to come on RümpChät. Yes, okay? Because while we're not supposed to pick favorites in rodeo, I've picked favorite roper, and it's the one and only 17-time world champion, correct? 18-time world champion. Badass from Stephenville, Texas. Everybody here, JJ Hampton, everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I was looking at your bio, JJ.
Okay.
And I can't believe I messed up the world champion, Bill. But the one thing that
hasn't been updated in a while.
The one thing,
I'm just happy you actually did some preparation.
I did, because I wanted to put this together. I was like, we talked about this before.
We did.
Yeah. And I was like,
looking forward to it.
You got a cool story. It says right here, this is probably not right. Career earnings in the WPRA, $375,000. Is it close?
Probably.
Probably.
Because it's the events.
It's just that. I mean, it's really hard to tell how much breakaway ropers win total, because, I mean, the WPRA doesn't pay as good. I mean, we've been going a long time, but we rodeo outside to make extra money to be able to do this through our jackpots and the Amateur Rodeo Association. So, I mean, I won a lot more than that over my lifetime, but it's somewhere that they keep up. That's what it would be.
Yeah. It says also that when you were a little girl that you quit barrel racing, you didn't want nothing to do with that. Going right to the rope and pin.
Yes.
That is cool. Nothing against barrel racing, but it's cool that you laid your foot down and said, nah, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah. My dad was a professional bulldogger, and he got me into rodeo, and I really sucked when I started roping. It took me about 2 years to catch a calf. It did. My dad really never thought I'd catch, and I always tell people you got to stay hooked and keep at it, because look at me now.
Yeah.
It took you 2 years to catch a calf.
Well, I don't know it's quite that long, but pretty damn close.
Really?
Yeah, it was a long time.
Goodness. It also, what else makes JJ cool is we share a common hero in the rodeo business. When she was growing up, she was a fan of the great Roy Duval. All right.
Roy
Duval, Bill Duval, two of the baddest ever. The Bulldogs in today's NFR are great. We love them. We're good friends with Bill Loomis and Wag and the whole crew. But back in the days of Roy and Bill, now that would have been worth rodeoing with. Before cell phones and all that. The Duvals kicked more ass than anybody. And when I asked Bill about it, I said, Bill, what's the biggest change you've seen in rodeo now from back in your day? He said 2 things, lawn chairs and awnings. He says, if you got time to get a lawn chair at a rodeo or you can put out an awning, you ain't rodeoing hard enough.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I sat in a lawn chair one time. I never put my awning out.
Yeah.
No.
So who does?
What, why rodeo ball
Well,
for you?
I mean, I grew up, they come and stayed at our house all the time. They were my dad's best friends. And I liked that they were funny. They were very serious. They were badasses. And they just had a mentality of winning about them, just a presence that you couldn't help but be drawn to. And I respected that. I respected their try. I mean, just everything about them. And I loved it. And I always looked up to them and I wanted to be a badass like them. I just wanted to be good at what I did and enjoy rodeo and have the friends that they made. And I thought they were really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
they were really cool.
Well, that's what everybody says. Winners run with winners.
That's true.
And I mean, you can't, and you've seen a lot in your rodeo career, but that's definitely true in any event, because I've seen it. I know you have too. I know Hambone has in rodeo, even though he's a sound guy and I'm a clown, we go rodeo year round. We see kids that have a ton of potential. They got a ton of talent, but they never get to the next level. And it's because, I mean, rodeo is hard.
Rodeo is hard, and if you don't surround yourself with not only winners but people that want you to win, they can be a winner and not care if you win, and you're not going to win with them. So you got to be with somebody who supports you, backs you, helps you, and wants the best for you, and celebrates your wins with you. Because if you don't have that in the rig, you're not going to win.
Yeah. Well, take us back, like when you first started, after those 2 years of not catching a lot. Kind of tell us your story.
Well, I mean, I always, from a young age, my dad rodeoed, so my mom would help me rope. And when we practiced, I guess at first I wouldn't throw my rope. And so my mom would say, all right, we're going to practice nod, kick, swing, and throw. And we started doing that, and I got to where I could win first. I didn't catch all the time, but I could win first. And so over the years, I got more consistent with that, and I win a lot more first than I did because I catch more than I did. But my mom was really instrumental. She don't know shit about rodeo or nothing about horses, but she knew well enough to tell me to nod, kick, swing, and throw. And my mom actually got me, I'm going to say, to be the bat, to get to where I could rope and win. And my mom for that.
Yeah. So when you started like high school rodeo, college.
Yeah, I made it state, actually in the breakaway. I mean, the goat tying. Believe it or not, I've always been kind of a heavy girl, and I was really big then. But I was a goat tying son of a buck. People would look at me and I go, and they go, "Damn," because you look at me.
Pound, very athletic.
I was the same way. I was big, but I was athletic, and I could beat your butt. I mean, I could be 6'9", 7'1", and that was before you hung on the side of the horse. And I was really good at goat tying, but I wanted to rope. And I was decent at it. I wasn't consistent enough to be good at it. And then when I got in college, I went to another level and I started catching more and being more consistent at catching, but still fast. And I won 18 world titles.
Did, when you were goat tying, did you ever do the scorpion where your feet and then you plant and your feet come up over your head? They call it the.
I usually didn't go ahead and flip over. I just, I'd face plant and be done. So I hit like a ton of shit.
You know what though? Like the goat tying, I worked at college finals every year, and of all the events, the goat tying at the college finals is by far my favorite event to watch.
Oh yeah,
because it is awesome, but it has changed. My mom, who's listening today, to make sure I don't say any naughty words. Okay, my mom's got a picture from 1976 from Bozeman, Montana, and she's tying a goat that has horns this long. She's flanking this goat, and the goat's balls are rolling over the side of her leg. Like back then in the 70s of goat tying, like the 70s and 80s goats weren't the little bitty goats that they tie today, but they were monsters. But I will tell you this, at the college finals, when they start busting out the 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", and then them tall girls from like Clarendon College are riding old bulldogging horses that run off, and they do the bailout. It gets pretty interesting, the goat time event.
Oh yeah, there's ricks riding left, and I mean it's beautiful when they ride. Half-ass be crazy, I think, to do it now.
Well, and the women's event really picked up because I work one of the greatest college rodeos in the whole world, Texas Tech College Rodeo.
Oh yeah,
amazing. But you look at the entries, break in the goat time, they're getting at some of these events 150 breakaway ropers. It's awesome for our industry because, it's not going away. It's getting bigger. If you go down to the junior rodeos here, I don't want to name them because I don't know the exact
Junior World Finals.
Like the youth divisions are absolutely blowing up through the roof, which is amazing for you guys.
Oh yeah, it's awesome to see our sport growing, and of course the boys always had it, but now the girls are showing up big and they rope good. These little girls are they're amazing talents already and know how to ride their horse and score and rope, and it's pretty cool to see it.
And the breakaway horse
go ahead.
The breakaway horse deal's going up through the roof too.
Yeah, it is. I was just talking to somebody a while ago, and I mean, you can find one for 40,000. It could, no offense, be a dink, and they want 40,000 for them. So it's kind of crazy. You kind of got to walk into a good horse if you don't want to pay that much for them, and some people can't.
So I want to talk a little bit on. It's funny you mentioned the entry side. I run the San Angelo Rodeo and the Roping Fiesta. We actually talked on the phone. Don't know if you remember, but because we had an invitation last year, I think 60 of you girls came or something like that. Well, then we opened it up this year, and we got 47. And so what I think it's going to run into is now you guys have so many more places to go, and this is in October, and now you guys are like a lot of the rodeo cowboys. A lot of girls are broke. They're running out of money because they're going so hard because they can go. So, and another thing that the World WCRA rodeo going on out here.
Right.
So I know that that's why we talked on the phone about, if you could make it, if you couldn't, could you get your entry back, whatever. So, we're going to do it again, but it was like, man, we were so looking forward to it. And then there was only 47, which was still a good rope, and it was fine. Calves are pretty tough. But even breakaway cab, they're wanting $26 to $30 a run. Sure. And
expensive, all of it is.
That's expensive.
Yeah, people see it and they see dollar signs, and I think some people take advantage of that. It is what it is. But as you're talking about all those jackpots, we're getting where we have so many that we can pick and choose. And when you pro rodeo, you don't have time for jackpots. So I know a lot of those jackpots numbers have been down because everybody's pro rodeoing and wants to make the NFR.
Yeah, and we put up 5,000, but again, all you main girls were out here at the WCRA deal. Right. But it's just I've noticed that it's getting to that because even more rodeos are going to come out in 22, right? And probably 23, especially rodeos that can't. It's basically you got to be 20,000 added to get a decent amount of bareback riders because there's just no bareback riders, and we all understand because that is a very hard event,
very painful,
and especially like Sydney, Iowa, my hometown. August, it's after Cheyenne. Those guys are broke or broken.
We'll have to breakaway because we usually aren't broke. We'll find a way to pay our fees. Get it at San. That's good.
But we're having it. We're having it over the Fiesta.
That stuff right here. Get them, JJ.
I will. You add breakaway, we'll show up. I'm going to call out a rodeo, and I'm not being mean to them. So some Ellens, Washington, they had 20,000 the other events. They added 1,500 the breakaway, and it was 140 something of us entered there with 1,500 added. So we show up. You add 20,000 another event, and they don't show up. We will show up. Even if they add 10 or 15,000, it'd be good, but 1,500 for us.
Yeah, but you have to look at it too a business standpoint. Like we talked about the cost. Now, San Angelo, we sell every ticket, but a few hundred tickets. So is it good just for aesthetics, just to have, or is it because and business wise? Do you think like those rodeos that need it, the numbers need it for the numbers and for entertainment value, but it's a fine line, on the business side. There's both sides. I get it. Trust me, I get it.
We're not greedy. We don't, you can't do 20,000. We get it, but we show up, and there's got to be a woman or business who supports women that's at that rodeo. If you ask them, they'll donate our money. They'll donate the money. And if you have it this year and can only add 5,000, we'll still show up, and somebody's going to go, oh my God, we love those ladies. I'll add the rest, and you'll get the money for us. We're not that greedy or hard to get along with, and we understand you got to start somewhere. But if you'll start somewhere and give us a chance, I think somebody will sponsor it for us.
Yeah, and if you look at the blow up in the PRCA, I remember like it wasn't too long ago when the whole PRCA breakaway open, it'll never happen, and then it might happen. And then all of a sudden, look at all the rodeos that have it. It truly did came out of nowhere. So I think as far as going that direction, it's going in a great direction because honestly, Hampton and I both work Corpus Christi, Texas, which is a WCRA rodeo.
Yes.
That was Madison Luthier won that. And that was one of the best events to watch, really. Like when it is good, I mean, it's like anything. If you're
If it's good, it's really good. It's good, but it could it could be really bad.
But
if
like
a bunch of girls are missing. I mean, just like anything.
Oh yeah,
team roping or anything. But
like that's one trip at Lufkin, Texas this year. They had one tie down roper catch, 2 bulldoggers catch, and every team roper missed. Every team roper, and we even had some good team ropers out that day. They all missed, but besides just the breakaway roping, you're also a team roper. You've team roped a lot.
Yes.
World champions, all around champions.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to start roping in rodeos?
No.
Can they?
No, we can. We can enter the rodeos, but I don't want none of those people. I'm good with breakaway roping. I've worked hard to kind of get my game on, and it's hard enough going to rodeos and breakaway roping. I couldn't imagine entering another event, but I'm good. I'm gonna stick with my breakaway roping.
It'd be neat to see the numbers from like even 2019.
It grew 750%.
Wow.
They had a chart. It grew 750% in entries. In 2020, they had 50-something approved pro rodeos. Last year, they had over 300 with breakaway.
That's awesome. Yeah, round of applause if you're out there.
But it's going to get, like, again, there's so many rodeos doing it. And then it's been you top tier ladies have been going to those. But it's going to be now all the money's going to go up, and you guys are going to, your top tier gals are going to go to those top tier rodeos, and those other rodeos are going to go. Then they're going to start going, well, why isn't JJ Hampton here?
Well, JJ Hampton goes to every one, so they don't have to worry about that.
Okay. I
enter them all, how many they have. I like to go. I don't like to sit still. I don't like to have my awning out. So I'm going to rumble and rodeo and go to, if I can. Hopefully I do good in the winter buildings. But like San Antonio, Fort Worth, Cheyenne, Pendleton, there's several of them had equal added money for us. So we roped with all the other guys, and I feel like, Reno was it. I feel like Reno's going to step up too after last year and give us more money.
Yeah, you were
awesome,
quite
Reno.
The sensation there. Probably the biggest story to come out of that rodeo.
Yeah, that was a cool rodeo, and for the crowd, I liked the rodeo before I even did good. Like even sitting in the stands, I'd gone with my brother. I'd gone and watched Marty once, and I loved that rodeo. For me to win that rodeo, I'm telling y'all, I was excited, and y'all knew that. That wasn't fake. That was for real. Like I loved every freaking moment of that. It was so awesome.
It was genuine.
Yeah,
you could tell.
Cool.
That's what I love so much about when I get to watch you. And I'm not knocking other breakaway ropers, but a lot of times the girl she'll be like 2'5", and she'll have a nice run, and then she'll put her head down and gently ride out of the arena.
Walk.
Like she'll be winning the round, and she doesn't even look excited. And I started making fun of him a little bit as a rodeo clown. I'm like, girls, I was like, it's okay to be happy. So like I love watching you because you do crave it, and this has been your passion your whole life. When you rope and do good, you're happy about it. There's people don't have to guess how you feel.
Well, no, and I celebrate other people's victories too because it's important. I do. I'll go high five whoever, and I made a lot of friends this summer not knowing I was making somebody's day by high fiving them, but they made a badass one, and I won't tell them. And I think that's cool, and we all celebrate our victories. It's hard to win. It's hard to be out there doing stuff, and I just think you need to.
We talk about this a lot on RümpChät, like the different groups in all the different events. You've got the Tyler Pearson and Wagaspack, and then, another group, you got Will Loomis and the Casey Jones crew, and then you got Cody Devers and Stockton and Jewel. Do you rodeo by yourself? Do you got like a crew?
No, that's my driver, Sierra. She drove me on. Tell everybody she's my bodyguard because she's all buff and shit. But anyways, she's awesome. No, I went by myself because we rodeoed more than most girls, and they would go, well, I'm not going over there. And I'm like, well, hell, I am. So that's what we did. And I kind of, the way I think it's best for me to be by myself, and I like to go, I don't know, I'm just kind of different, and I don't like being with a bunch of people. It's not the way I like to do. I don't do my best when I'm having to watch other people and think. And so we just had a good time doing it by ourselves. And I really enjoyed it.
What, you don't any follow up with that?
Oh no, I get really bad when I get excited, and so sometimes I get talking too much. and I talk over everybody. So I just like to look over every now and then to make sure I'm not going to step on you.
Yeah, no, it's
done
okay.
it a lot lately,
like Jeff Metter said on the NFR telecast last year, he came on RümpChät and he goes, "Those guys are so great. They ask you a question and then they answer it for you." So we really tried to pay back and be a better interviewer, JJ.
It's been hard because when we first started RümpChät, it was just me and Hambone talking, pretty much arguing with each other for hours at a time.
Well, we did the first episode 3 times because we got too drunk at Denver doing it, and we got a little liberal with our cuss words and stuff. And Boyd goes, "You don't gotta cuss because you can." I said, "Well, it wasn't cussing. That Pendleton whiskey was cussing."
There you go.
So we had to redo it 3 times.
Yeah, so that's why I'm actually trying to get to
but
be
that's cool though. Our first breakaway.
I know. I was so pumped when you asked me because I said I'm his favorite, and I tell all them other girls that. But I am. I like rodeo clowns. I like talking to everybody at the rodeo, and I've made a lot of friends. And if I'm your friend, I'm your friend. That's what it's me. And I thought it pretty damn special that you invited me on here. So I'm pretty pumped.
Well, I actually dropped your name on RümpChät.
A lot.
I don't know. Yeah.
A lot.
And so
I name dropped JJ a lot.
I did.
Oh,
Well, we were talking about different rodeo breakdowns. I was talking about
Robin.
you and whatever. And so people started, like, everybody knows you. Like, everybody that I've ever met has got a story about meeting you or being around you. And I think it's really cool because there's a lot of people that rodeo for a living, that rodeo as hard as you do, that go a lot, that nobody really knows. I mean, like, in my whole life, I've been in the rodeo business literally my whole life. And I've never had a job outside of rodeo, and I know everybody. I'd never talked to Rich Skelton ever until this year. And he came on RümpChät, and he sat down, and turns out he's hilarious.
Oh, my God. He is funny. Real quiet, dry sense of humor, but he's funny.
Yeah, and his daughter, Rainey, who's a great roper herself.
Yes, she is.
And I'm thinking, you know what? That's why we want to have different people on here all the time. We want to tell the stories. We want people to know you. We want people to know a lot of the people.
Real quick, tell the Roney story of Denver.
Oh, so at Denver, everybody that watches the Cowboy Channel, I know you get tired of seeing me on there, but Denver, I'm constantly trying to come up with different things. I don't ever want to be the guy that just floats through the perf. So we decided one day that I was going to get on the pickup horse and I was going to chase out during the team roping. So
we made it a bit, right? We're laughing.
Right,
Chase gets off his horse.
For sure.
And my biggest fear in all of rodeo is to be in the way, because I don't ever want to be that guy. Because, like, before I started clowning, I hated clowns. Like, when I was a bulldogger, I did not watch any clowns. I'm like, these guys are dumb and they're overpaid. And now I'm dumb and overpaid. However, being in the way is my worst fear. But Chase Serby, he's like, it's no problem. I got a horse. We're going to do this. It's going to be hilarious. So I get on his pickup horse. Well, as a joke, this is like perf number 22. So, we've been rodeoing like 3 times a day for a while.
Yeah.
So he undoes the hobble strap and then sucks the back cinch up. And
Oh, my God.
Rich is in the box. He's about to nod. And I think he's rode with Nick Sartain. Yeah. So you got world champions in the box. And all of a sudden they're about to nod. And this horse breaks in two and starts bucking. And he goes bucking towards the bucking chutes. And I'm not going to lie to everybody. I rode pretty bad. But in my defense,
he bails off on the far fence.
I had to.
He reaches for the fence. What do they never reach for the fence?
Here's the deal. I'm wearing very, very slick clown shorts, and I didn't have a good hold, so I had to bail. So I jumped off on the fence, and who was the judge?
Terry
Carlin.
Terry Carlin. This horse cow kicks him right in the back.
Knocks him against
right out the side. Just whap.
And I mean, stops the whole rodeo while Nick and Rich Skelton are about to rope. And then the horse, after he double barrels the judge, knocks the judge down. He runs to the back end, and I am so embarrassed. I am so embarrassed. I'm like, I just made myself look like an idiot. Rich ropes, and then he rides down to me, and he looks right at me, and he goes, I've watched a lot of rodeo clowns in my day, but I don't think I've had one that's made me laugh in over 30 years. And he smiled. So all it took was me getting bucked off into a fence and a pro rodeo official damn near dying from a horse kick. But
To get Roni to
Rich
smile.
Skelton loved it.
He did.
And it made me feel good.
You should. I mean, it happens to everybody. You just go on with it. I see you all the time, and I know you said sometimes people make comments. You know, you're on the TV all the time, and you do a great job at the rodeos, and I enjoy because you make us laugh. You say stuff, and I don't know if you mean to sound. It's funny, and it's nice to be able to laugh and not just sit there. So I actually enjoy it.
And you know what? I really, really enjoyed the Breakaway Ropers at Pendleton because at Pendleton this year, everybody that's been to Pendleton or seen it, you know, where everybody sits on the grass. This year we had the Breakaway Ropers out on the grass, and these gals. They didn't do like all the other time event guys. If you notice the way the grass sets up, you got one corner of photographers and a couple of the fence crew over here. Then you got the big group that Wayne Brooks calls the peanut gallery. And then you got most of your time event guys. They don't come close. They sit like way over in the corner where they put the chute. Yeah. Not the Breakaway Ropers. The Breakaway Ropers come and got in the business. They sat down with all the guys. And those girls were hilarious. We had a foot race that day where I actually owe Ricky from South Dakota.
Ricky Ingesser.
Yeah, I owe her $100. And today I'm going to do something that I've never done.
Oh, shut up. No way. Somebody get video of this. Hold on. Is it a real 100? Let me see it.
I got a real $100 bill.
Because you know he stole a bunch of fake 100s.
No, that's real. That's a real $100 bill.
It is.
And if Ricky shows up in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to pay her money. Okay?
I thought she was here. No.
She probably is around here.
JJ,
get my phone and call Ricky. Call her. Text her.
Are you going to see her somewhere? Like
I'm sure sometime.
Here, give it. No, give it to JJ.
I'll just keep this.
No, give it to JJ.
I got another 100.
Give it to JJ.
I'm just going to do that here.
Everybody should give it to JJ.
You give that to Ricky.
Ricky, I got $100 for you. I'll message him when we get that with
That's
you.
outstanding.
Yeah, that is.
Well, it was funny because
he's a crummy bastard. He never pays his bill.
Well, the reason was here's how the foot race started. At Pendleton, you can't hear anything out in the arena at all because all the speakers are around the sides. So I got an earpiece that I talk with production on, or I don't talk, they talk and I listen.
Yeah.
So we had a re-ride, and they say you need to fill 5 minutes. Like crap. So all these girls are sitting there, and Trey Yates and a couple other guys. And I had my microphone off. I go, hey, who wants a foot race for $100? And everybody jumped up. We had probably, 25 or 30 in this foot race. And so it was from one side of the grass, Pendleton, to the other and back. And they took off. Ricky took her boots off. And this girl was hauling the mail, but she gets across the track and she's running back. And there's a guy, and I don't know who he was. He was a steer roper. He's in the lead, and he starts trying to big dog it. You know, like when someone's about to score a touchdown and they fumble? He's beating Ricky, and he turns around to look at her, and he falls down face first and slides in that grass. And Ricky jumped him like a hurdle and crossed the finish line and won. And usually, like, I can get away with my stuff about, oh, yeah, I'll pay you 100 later. And so the split second the race was over, like, her and Sawyer Gilbert and a couple other girls were like, hey, you owe Ricky money. Like, I was like, yeah, I got to go through the proper channels to get it. I got to file with the Pendleton Roundup. And so I'm trying to blow him off the whole time. And yeah. Then after the rodeo, I got to see if I still got it. She sent me a Facebook message with her picture and a fist that said, you owe me money. And so I just tried to get through the last perf. And then here we are today. Finally, Justin Rumford cares enough to make it right.
Yeah.
And I actually wouldn't have gave you that. Tall. I actually wouldn't have gave you that, but since Hambo shamed me into it, my wife gave me that $100 to spend on whatever I wanted. And I'm glad I did, because it's all about doing the right thing with RümpChät. Okay.
Well, usually he says up to $100, which could mean $5.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So actually, I came through on that, which doesn't happen a lot. But so Ricky, you're welcome.
Yeah, JJ, I want to ask you, like, your horsepower. You know, we talked about horses. That's actually my dad's favorite part of Breakaway. He's watching the horse. Where do you get most horses, and do you train them?
No, I do not train horses. I don't have time to train horses. And I think if you competitively rodeo, you can't train horses. It's a different mentality, and breakaway roping is so fast, and these girls rope so tough. You can't be in training mode and win. So I don't train mine. I got the mare I rode at Reno and all year was Fergie, and I got her from Ryan Jett. And the other bay mare, they're both 14. I have is Millie, and I bought her from another breakaway roper, Jamie Markham. So I like them started, and they'll fit me, score, and run, and then I just kind of tweak them to work with me better.
I mean, the breakaway horses start out. Breakaway horses are like steer wrestling horses start out as barrel horses. That
I think both of them were tie down horses.
Were they?
Yeah, they were. Fergie, actually, my son got on her and roped tie down. She hadn't been roped on in 2 years, and she worked awesome. I think she'll be another good horse for him to ride later on.
Well, and it's not just rodeo with you. You're also very successful in other areas of life.
Yes.
Real estate.
Yes, I'm a real estate broker, and I own my own company, JJ Hampton Realty. So while we were gone this summer, I have 2 girls work for me, Carissa Chambers, Stephanie Chisholm, and they keep the business running. And then I'd fly home for a couple of days and go in there like a whirlwind, list houses, sell some, write contracts. And most of it I can do on the road because they did all the showing for me. So it fits really well. And I've noticed that there's a lot of rodeo girls starting the real estate license because I guess honestly, they've watched me and they've seen that I've been successful at it, and it's something that you can do. And you can. You just got to have some good people around you, and I've got the best.
Well, and the personality too. I mean, obviously you're an extrovert. You're not introvert. So
yes.
You and connections. It's all about that. And in real estate, where's your company at?
It's in Stephenville.
Yeah, we all know that the price of land around our house in Weatherford, it was ridiculous from what we paid for it.
Oh yeah,
and a guy from California bought it, and then he texted me one day, and he's like, "Oh, the Whataburger job didn't work out." And I'm like, "You bought our place, and you work at Whataburger?" There's nothing against I love Whataburger, but that's what he sold their place in California and probably paid cash for ours.
Oh,
that's what's insane.
Yeah, they buy them down here, sell there, and think it's cheap back down there, which drove our prices up. Ours have leveled off a little bit because they're in the summer. First of the year, man, you were having to pay 25, 50,000, even 100,000 over than when bid, which is kind of crazy because we really don't have that in Steamville. Usually, if you offer full price, you would get the bid, but it was nuts. I mean, people overpaid for stuff
and had to have a bunch down, right? I mean,
a lot of these people paid cash. Some people got loans, and they'd have to pay the difference in what it appraised. So it was a little tricky. I mean, I had like one time, I think 39 deals under contract. Trying to manage all that, you almost think you can't do a good job. You're so busy because you got to handle so many things, but it's a lot. It was a whole lot to deal with.
So do you have a limit? Would you do $100,000 property, or are you just like,
no,
I'm
I
only
help anybody
who
needs help. If you have something 10,000 or 10 million, I'm going to help you sell your place or help you buy it. I don't care.
Yeah,
JJ Hampton Realty. You hear that, folks?
Yeah.
There's room on this backdrop.
For a small price, we could put that right up here.
All right. How small a price?
Up to $500.
You hand me that $100 bill back, and we'll see what we can do. Oh, you keep it. The crazy thing about Stephenville, Texas, is the draw that it has. Everybody, there's probably, think about right now, how many people walking right here with a cowboy hat on? There's probably 80% call Stephenville, Texas home. How in the world? Like, have you noticed that over the years? What has been the draw? Because everybody is from Stephenville. Even people from Kansas are from Stephenville, Texas.
Are you from?
Yes.
Are you from Stephenville?
I'm born and raised. They're all transplants. But I was born and raised there. That's my town. I mean, it's a great central hub to rodeo out of. And a lot of people buy little second places. So when they're down for the winter, they have somewhere to stay and keep their horses, or they can rent them the rest of the time because it's a college town and you can rent it to college people. So there's a lot of draws for you to keep your investment. Yeah,
I see. Like we were talking about this last night. Weatherford. I think Weatherford's become a real rodeo hub. Also, there's a lot of people moving to Weatherford, but it is great because DFW you can fly basically nonstop, pretty much anywhere you want to go.
Yes, you can,
and you're an hour from there. I guess almost 2 hours from Stephenville, but yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, Stephenville's still just a small town though, where people wave, they'll still pull over and help you. I like Weatherford, but it's grown it's a bigger city. Stephenville still has a country feel, and I don't know. I'm partial. I'll never leave. I was born and raised there, and I love it.
Yeah, it's got the Cowboy Capital Pro Rodeo.
Yep.
Yes.
with Pete Carr Pro Rodeo.
Yes.
Our partner has that rodeo, but there's all the people at rodeo in Stephenville. There's a lot of really friendly people there because we've actually went and helped at a rodeo school there, and all these people you see throughout the year that kind of bump into. There's a lot of people in that town that all get together and help each other and rope together. Their barbecue place, you don't pay attention. It's like hard eight.
$100.
I didn't know that it was like off weight. It said like $8.99, and so I was going through that deal, and they're like, "You want some ribs?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a big dude. I like to eat." Like, "Yeah, you want some of this brisket?" They're like, "Sure." And I'm like, "This won't be much." They weighed it up. But, like every day, I'm kind of not in the real estate business like you are, but I like to look. And the horse properties, like that is a whole new thing. Like that's another thing. It's not just houses. It's horse properties, Texas horse properties. People are loving horse properties.
Yeah, they want a barn and arena already on their property, and right now they're really hard to find. So if you get a good listing, it's priced right, it sells immediately, and probably multiple offers on it. So we just don't have a lot of listings right now. If people can buy some land, but building barns and stuff is so high. It's almost like I sold some people's place, and they go, "We got to keep our barn, sell off the house because we can't really afford to build right now. We got to wait till prices go down."
Do you think will it?
I think they said it's gone down a little bit, so it has down.
Like at your house in Stephenville, I've actually seen some pictures of it. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, we're really pretty proud of our house. We worked hard and sold another place and sold a couple of big places to be able to build that house. It's actually Cason's fault. My brother died a couple of years ago, and I don't know, it took the life out of me a little bit, and we were living in a mobile home. I actually bought my place from Marty because we have a covered lane there where we can rope, and at the time, Cason didn't even rope, and I said, "Well, son, if you decide to rope, where do you want to rope?" And he said, "Well, right there," and I said, "We're buying it." So we moved in this stinky old double wide. Not that there's anything wrong with living double wide. I'm not saying that, but I'm telling you.
It is if it stinks.
Well, yeah, the cabinets were, I don't know. We could never get the smell of these cabinets. It was awful. And boxes. I mean, we weren't going to live there long because our plan was to build. And Cason woke up one day and said, "Mom, I want out of this double wide." I called the builder and we built it, and there we are. So.
Hey, come up here for a second. Come up here.
Don't say nothing bad, she says. Watch your here the court. Go around there, but
there you go. Tell us about the double wide.
The double wide was it had a rat in the toilet. I specifically remember going in the bathroom when I was gonna have my piece, and I see a rat in the toilet, and I'm like, "What the heck is this doing in the toilet?" A tower of boxes in there, but haven't even got close to unpack because we didn't have the room.
It's fun.
The floors were so cold in the winter, you would have to wear socks and fully clothed, or else you're gonna freeze.
That's funny. That's if you ever stay in a room with Rumford, you still walk in the bathroom. You walk in the bathroom and go, "What is in the toilet?" That's great.
Awesome.
Cason?
Yeah, this is Cason Prince.
Cason Prince. That's a good name.
Thank you.
How old are you, buddy?
12.
12. And you like to rope?
Yes.
Are you good?
Question for Jay.
He's getting there. He's been working at it really hard, and he's gotten a lot better in the last few months. I mean, but like over the summer when I left and he was home, Ricky was helping him rope and stuff. It was amazing how much he improved while I was gone in 3 months. I mean, he grew a lot, and he's got a long way to go, but it won't be from lack of effort or practicing and trying, because he probably ropes 30 head a night. We just bought him another horse so he could rope 40 head a night. So we got 12 kids waiting for us when we get home so Cason can get after it.
You have a lot of people that, because I know in other events, there's places where people will go practice. They all get together, especially with the Bulldoggers. But do you have a lot of people, since Stephenville is such a hub of rodeo? Are you blowing up constantly like, "Hey, JJ, if you're going to rope this week, holler at me. I'll come." And
I have a lot of kids who want to come rope with me, and we help, and so they'll call and want to rope, and we get it when it rains because I have a covered lane. They don't call me; they call Ricky because they're scared of me. So they'll call, ask him, and they come over.
Why are they scared of you?
No earthly idea. People are scared of me. Ricky says my bark's worse than my bite, but I don't know.
I can kind of see that. I can see how she can be kind of intimidating.
I scare people. I'm loud and I'm straight to the point, and my voice is hard, so people are scared of me.
I'm not. I think you're awesome.
Well, I appreciate that. It's kind of funny though. People look at me, duck their head, and I'm like, "What the heck?" I think they don't like me. Well, hell, they're just scared of me because going to find out they do like me.
Well, like this conversation, hopefully a lot of people get to know you because sometimes we have bad days, and a fan may catch you at the wrong time. I mean, not you. I'm just saying in general, people, and it's happened to me when I was a kid. Oh God, what was his name? Anyway, he was a team roper, and it doesn't matter. And he kind of brushed me off, and it kind of broke my heart, but I met him later on in life, and he was God, it's escaping me.
Well, you think about it. I walk around in my own world sometimes. I do, and Ricky, they all make fun of me for it. But if a kid approached rodeos, that I can reach the people. But I tell anybody listening, if you want to talk to me, do not hesitate to come up to me and get my attention. I do walk around my own world, but I will always speak to you. I will always answer your questions and do anything that I possibly can for you. So don't be scared to talk to me. I really am. I'm easily approachable.
Do you do any schools?
I mainly give private lessons. I have people asking me all the time, but I just send them come to my house, or I can go to their house where I have one-on-one time with them. I'm not really the one to break down their roping and, break down all the steps of it. But when they leave my house, they know they can win. They feel like winners. And that's what I'm good at. I'm good at getting people to throw their rope fast and making them help with their mind so that they know they can win.
What about a video? Ferg, I'm working on something here. What about a video? Because I had Clay O'Brien Cooper's roping video when I was a kid, and I watched it like it was the Flintstones.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I probably should. I mean, just to help people with the things that they've got.
Spitzy Creative, holler at us. We got the hookup on that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be good to something. I think I have a lot of knowledge that would help somebody maybe overcome some things that where I think I'm best at's my mental game. I'm the best at when I'm a bad run, leaving the arena and being ready for the next. I mean, I had my NFR here Monday and Tuesday, and to be honest, I never dreamed that it would work out like it did for me. The first 9 rounds were brutal, but I didn't give up, and I was 1-8 and won the 10th round. So just well, you got to not be able to give up. Was that the time I wanted? No. Was it? Yeah, I didn't like 1 minute of it, but I never thought that I couldn't do it or I wasn't a winner, and I stayed hooked, and I did win.
I think the mental part of rodeo gets looked over so much.
Oh, it's tough.
Because sometimes I feel like if you are very mentally, you're ready to win, then some people are too afraid to be mentally ready to win because they're afraid somebody's going to mistake it for being cocky or arrogant. But, Mike Tyson said, before you step in that ring, you better look in the mirror and believe that you're the baddest cat there. And and I see that a lot. I see that a ton, especially with the youth rodeos and stuff. A lot of these kids that, they're learning to rope, they're learning to ride, but they're not winning. They're not learning to win. They're not learning to mentally prepare it. And I think it's definitely something that needs to be touched on because it ain't going away. Our youth rodeo contestants are blowing up, even in that little HYRA Rodeo Association my kids go to. There's 48 girls in the 8-year-old barrel racing.
Yeah.
That's in one deal. There's 38 calf riders, which they bucked beef calves. So the second day, there was 22 calf riders. Okay. Thank you, Lucas Dick from Kingman, Kansas. RümpChät listener. Sorry.
What a dick.
But, when you think about that, what's your opinion on that? How hard should some of these kids, because I mean, like it or not, I'm not talking bad, but some kids are pressured pretty hard that want a rodeo, but they're really hauled maybe too much, maybe put on too much. Like there's a balance of wanting somebody to win, enjoying the sport of rodeo, and making it all work.
Well, I tell Kaysen, we want to win. It's about winning, but right now he's getting better, and it's about going to rodeo and doing your best and learning from everything that happens to you. I don't put pressure on him or tell him, you got to win or we're not going or that. I just want to, as long as he puts out effort, practices at home, that winning's going to come. We just got to be open to winning and not be worried about if we make a mistake or worried about if we mess up, because we all mess up. I messed up 9 head. I'm a world champion. I'm AJ Hampton. It happens. You're not always going to win, and you better learn how to accept it and be ready to kick their ass the next time and quit worrying about what happened in the run behind you. And I don't put any pressure on Kaysen. I didn't push him into roping. He never even roped or wore jeans till 2.5 years ago. He wouldn't wear pants.
I don't usually wear jeans either, for the record.
Or pants.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't either. And all of a sudden he told his daddy, hey, I want to rope. And Ricky said, are you sure you want to tell your mama? Because you fit to be all in. So they told me, and we got horses, and here we are. I have a ball watching him. It's fun.
Can we ask you another question?
Yeah.
I just love having you on here. You make me happy. Man, this might be fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about roping?
Roping in general, I guess.
Just roping in general?
Maybe the electricity and that feel. Go out there and have a chance to do good.
I want to say something. This little boy is a better interview than 90% of our ropers in the NFR right there.
Yeah, he likes the microphone. He's
I wonder where he gets it.
Yeah.
I'm not for pushing people, but if you guys could push Marty Yates to keep doing good, because he's my pro fantasy guy, and he did get the round win the other night. My pro fantasy team has had a hard week. I don't know if you guys have heard, but I set a record the other night, and that record is not one person on my team won $1. And my wife is in the top 7 for the whole thing.
Uh-oh.
So there's
That's
that.
bad.
So, Kaysen, is it true? Is her bark isn't as bad as her bite? She bites pretty hard. She bites pretty hard, huh?
No, he's just being that way. I'm not.
I'm not disclosed to tell that answer because the bark isn't as bad as the bite.
Okay, good. That is a smart boy. Round of applause right there. That's the way to play that.
JJ, with you and Marty ever match breakaway, would you whoop his ass?
Probably. Yeah.
That's what I expected.
It's a different mentality. Roping.
It is.
Marty helps me and helps Kaysen all the time, but I'm wired a lot different than Marty. You know, like put out here, the next round's gonna be fun because he's gonna be 6, and I know it. And he kind of last night didn't go the way he went, and it's all good. But he's not backing down, and he won't change anything.
Your team?
Of course, I did.
Who's on your team? I want to hear everyone.
Oh my gosh, we bought. You can? Are you sure?
Mine or yours?
The first one we picked 2 because we argued about everything. So we picked Casey Field.
Casey Field and the Bear both times. And the steer wrestling, we picked Rowdy Parrott in one, and I don't remember the other team. I think we picked him again. In the team roping, the first team we picked Tyler Reid and G8, and the second team we picked Joe Sayers and Quinn Kessler. And in the tie down, we picked, I think you know who.
Yeah.
You know.
And the barrels on one team we picked Lisa Lockhart, and the other we picked Haley. And the bulls we won JB.
Yeah, doggone it.
Yeah, I mean, our team ain't doing good, but I tell Casey, he got all mad picking these teams. I said, it's whoever's hot and lucky, son. And I don't mean to be mean, but that's it. And you never know. It's good. Somebody might put it together, but that's a tough thing to pick and put together for 10 rounds.
It is. I had Chad the first year he made the finals because he had won everything. You know, he was so hot.
You picked the wrong guy because Yates the money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Chad didn't win. I don't think he won a dime.
And those guys are awesome competitors, and they're all ranking. They didn't make it here because they weren't awesome. I mean, I rodeo with them all summer, and it's tough. It's hard to go to these rodeos and make it. And I always knew that, but when you go to rodeoing with them, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you can actually when you're parked right there by them, and you guys are warming up for the same arena, and you guys are definitely getting a different perspective than back in the jackpot days.
Oh, I know. It's awesome. Like, I mean, I have buddies that are saddle bronc. I don't know as many a few bareback riders I've made friends with. A lot of saddle bronc riders, bulldoggers. I love bulldoggers anyways. I already knew most of the team ropers and are friends with them, but I've gotten to know them a lot better, know about their kids. I know a little more about them than I did. And it's been cool getting to know all these people and making friends. And
well, I want to talk kind of trash on a friend. Okay. And tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm wrong sometimes, but this is RümpChät where we say whatever we want.
To a point.
Yeah, my friend is Tough Cooper, and Hampton and I actually won the contest, the costume contest at his wedding. We were dressed with sombreros, and I didn't wear a shirt. Is the whole thing. We actually did. We're friends with Tough. We worked his roping on New Year's Eve. We worked the day before New Year's Eve, so we're really good friends with Tough, and he won't respond to my text. It really bugs me that he switched to a straw hat. Does that bother anybody else? Isn't that? If it bothers you, make some noise, people out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing is tough. I like Tough, but he won't return my text or phone calls.
I wonder why.
Like he's busy out here doing something.
But what does it matter what cowboy hat he's got on?
I don't know why it bothers me. And like I said, it's not right or wrong.
It's going to. Sorry to go on a little rant here, but I am so disappointed with the Western industry on Facebook. They act like a bunch of Hillary voters in 2016. Quit bitching so much about everything. It's unbelievable. He laughed at midnight half. Shut up. Get a rope. You ride.
That's
You know,
what I said.
that opening song sucked. You know what? Shut up. You start putting on a $14 million rodeo. You put it on. Shut your mouth.
Actually,
I'm sorry I'm going off on this, but it just pisses me off. Or, he should have done this. He should have done that. Shut up. Enjoy rodeo. Drink your beer.
I wish I would.
And shut up. Have I said shut up yet?
Yeah.
Sorry, AJ.
No, you're good.
You know what I'm saying?
I think we need to stand
like
up for that. They do need to
JJ
shut
should have
up.
tipped a rope. Well, what's she doing? That horse.
You
You know
know
what I'm
tell me whatever they want because nobody's really going to tell me that. They're either supporting me because they're scared. They're not going to come to me and tell me some dumb bullshit because they're not.
Oh, no, I'm talking on social media.
Well, I understand, but we need to tell them to shut up. Because somebody has told me that. I've told them to shut up.
And they should.
They do. So I'm just saying, as a group, when we don't like they do that, we need to tell them, Shut up. Get off here. We're tired of your shit. I mean, we should stand up. It is not all right. We're a Western community, but we're not a bunch of bitchers. We're a bunch of people. Pull your damn straps on your boot, put your big girl panties on, and deal with the shit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. You and I are kindred spirits, I can say. And it's funny because it's the same people that sit there and in other areas of the world going, they just need to quit whining. You know what? And take it. They need to quit whining. And then they turn around and they'll complain that, you know, the clown's in the way of a shot, or, you know, or the camera isn't well, or the announcer's too loud. They just, it's complete. What they say they aren't, they are.
I wish I wouldn't took it down, because there's a guy from Iola, Kansas, that put up a Facebook post. This guy, I actually know him really well, and he placed at Iola, Kansas at the amateur rodeo in 2001, where he won third place. That's all of his accolades. He placed third place at a Rafter K at a Steve Kraft rodeo. Okay. He puts on Facebook about why Stetson Wright is not a good bull rider. Okay. So he deleted it, but I put on there this morning. That is absolutely 100% right. If anybody in the world of bull riding should listen to somebody, it should be you. With your vast knowledge of your third place finish at Iola, Kansas in 2001, you hold more bull riding knowledge than anybody here. Please keep posting on Facebook, because I'm sure these bull riders would want to know.
Well, yeah, they said that.
That's
you know,
crazy.
a lot of people were going off last night that Stetson slapped that bull. Were you there? Did you have a better advantage point than the judges? Because I stand right by the announcers. Yeah, it could have been close. But you know what? They didn't call it. He still rode that son of a gun.
And knock on wood, we have not had a bad crossfire yet. A bad crossfire.
That's true.
There's been a crossfire,
but not a bad one, because, you know, in the past.
That'll get them going.
But in defense of the judges, I will tell you this: like in college sports, in NFL, if there's a questionable call, they will stop, and you can go back and watch a replay official goes underneath the booth, and you can actually have time to think about your call. In rodeo, same as dropping the flag in the breakaway open.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens so fast when you have to make the call there, like on the markout. Sometimes, you know, he made it, he did it, this or that. But the thing of it is, people make mistakes, and we've got great judges here now.
No, we do.
Yeah, and I will stick up for those judges. Yeah. But exactly, like, it don't matter how hard these officials try. It doesn't matter how knowledgeable they are. Every now and then, a call is not going to go the way that you want it to go. Should that guy be kicked in the air? No, mistakes happen, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Remember when Luke Branquino, for the world, he threw that steer, and they didn't give him the flag because the steer got away from him.
Said he wasn't touched.
And it cost him the world championship. Luke Branquino defended Butch Kirby. Now that's class. He defended the judge.
mean, then you do about it anyways. And
Yeah,
it's their
you know,
call. You may not like it, but if that's going to happen to you, you're going to get it back some other time, some other way.
That's classy. Classy number 2, Donna K. Rule. Didn't get to run last year because of COVID. She didn't throw a fit. She didn't tear anybody. She didn't whine. She said, you know what? It was the rules. I'm sad, but don't worry. I'll be back. And this year she's back. She's so gracious, because if that had been me or Hambone, we would have been punching people in the face, getting arrested, filing lawsuits, crying to our family.
I can't afford a lawsuit.
Yeah, you can always afford a lawsuit.
I did. So at Denver, after, I got to tell a quick story. After that year at the finals, Luke and Butch was judging Denver, and they're all sitting around watching the playoff game, and the Packers are playing somebody, and Aaron Rodgers, all the Bulldoggers there, Luke and Butch are sitting opposite, and Aaron Rodgers gets face mask bad. I mean, the refs missed it. And I go, holy cow, Luke, have you ever seen such a bad call?
Oh, boy.
Why did you do that?
Because I'm friends with them both, and I just turned and walked off. You know, it's that whole pull the grenade, throw it in there. See you guys. But they both laughed, and because they're classy guys.
They should have both just tackled your ass.
Yeah. That would have hurt. Unless Butch, he would have grabbed on me.
That'd be good. Oh, my God.
We got time. We're getting towards the end. We got time for about a couple more questions. But, you know, since you've been in it, you've been a world champion. You've been there, done that. What do you think Breakaway Roping 5 years from now, where are we going to be?
Well, we're going to be at the same payout as the guys. And I don't know if we'll be in the Thomas and Mack or not. I'm not as worried about that as I am the money. I think it doesn't matter where we rope. If they'll just get us a spot, if it's here or there. But as long as we can rope for more money. We roped for $4,400 at Fort Worth last year, and we roped for $4,400 again with the 750% growth. And I just don't think that's right. I mean, I love where we're going. I'm very grateful. I love Breakaway Roping, y'all, but I want it to be good for the girls behind us. And us settling for $4,400 a night is unacceptable. We can't make back what we lost this year rodeoing because we didn't win. I mean, we couldn't win enough money.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you won it all, you couldn't have won enough money. So I'm hoping that we didn't settle when we roped in Fort Worth, because there were several of us that voted against it and said, let's wait, roll that money to this year, and it would have paid a lot. And stuck us with the same amount of money. So as a group of women, we've got to stand up, stand together, not be disrespectful, not be rude, but try hard to get the money. I want to rope in those yellow chutes. I'm 50. I don't have many years of this left, but I don't want to rope in that chute 4,400 a night.
You bet.
But I think that's why we're not there too, because it'd be embarrassing for them to put on there. They win 28,000 and we win 4,400. That because fans don't understand. Over at the Orleans, the first day there wasn't as many people there because most people didn't even know we were roping there. They were wondering, why the hell are y'all up to Thomas and Matt? So I mean, there's a lot of growth. I think it'll continue to grow, but somehow we got to get the sponsors and the money to figure out how to get us paid, even if it's half next year, and then work towards the 28,000. But really, you can't rodeo for 4,400 around the NFR. It doesn't pay.
I didn't know that.
No, that's it. We wrote for, and most people don't know that we wrote for that little amount of money. And it's great that they're getting us here, and we're getting more. And I got a badass NFR jacket like everybody else. I mean, that's cool. I can walk around looking, but it's really about the money, I think, and I think we got to work on that.
You know what I think in 25, when this contract's up, I think the Breakaway is going to have a lot to play in that.
Yeah, I think they will.
I think it's
not
going to have a lot
before. I really think some people are behind us that are pushing, that are helping it, and I'm going to really try to get more involved in some of that with our director and talk to some people, because right now there's a lot of things we don't know that they don't tell us, because everything seems to happen last minute for us, and it just gets thrown at us. And I'd like to leave here now knowing when our finals are going to be, because they know. They know next year their finals are going to be such and such date. We had no idea. We didn't even know until maybe 3 weeks before we were having it what dates we were open on. I mean, we didn't know. You can't plan. You can't do anything to figure out your schedule.
I had no idea I thought that was, probably established a long time ago.
No.
So you're going to be roping out here the days. It could have been
Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. We had no idea until they told us. We didn't even know what our back number for luncheon was till about 4 days before. So nothing was really planned out for us. And I think they've got to do better with us. I mean, we show up in numbers, we do our part, and
the memberships.
We buy memberships, and
pay fines.
We do pay fines. The girls show up. I mean, every rodeo there's 120. Some of them had 200 entries at them. I mean, we were there. Even the ones that only had a 1,500, we were there and showed up. And the very last week did it finally drop off, and they still had 80 entries.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I just, because most guys, I'll never forget Chad Furley. He had to borrow money, bronc rider, 2-time world champion. But before his first world championship, he had to borrow money to get to Vegas.
Yeah.
And then he won the world, won the average, won a bunch of money, and that basically covered his year. That's sad that I didn't know that.
Yeah,
and you would think with all the exposure that somebody would have stepped up. Yeah, I'm already.
They can't just dangle the carrot and us girls jump in and go, oh my God, that's okay. And I'm not saying you got to have all the money, because I understand it's a process, but you got to do a little better than that. You're going to have to, because people can't afford to go. I mean, I have a job and a business, so I have money coming in, but most of the girls at rodeo, horses for a living. Well, while you're rodeoing, you can't do any of that. They don't have any way to make money but to rope, and you're spending. A lot of them started out with $30,000 and got home with no money, zero, and they won.
Wow. Well, it's definitely an interesting future. I know you girls have been kicking ass and taking names, and so it'll be fun to watch.
No, it is. And what do we got to do to get it in San Angelo? I guess I need to get.
We'll talk.
You. Yeah, we'll talk. I mean, I'm serious. We don't have to have all the money, but we just like to get a little better and be included in the events, just like every other event, not be isolated or treated different.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate you taking the time, Kaysen. Go easy on your mama.
One more thing to say about that question about Marty and JJ matching. They haven't matched. I've matched her though, just to clarify.
How'd you do?
I got lucky and won because she missed one and she was probably beating me by 10 seconds. And then we went to roping once and we both entered. It was this 40 breakaway. We both entered twice. And you better tell her what I said.
Yeah, it's all good, but he did beat me. He won the 1D, so that was pretty cool.
Attaboy.
What I said, though. Tell him what I said.
Well, remember what you said.
Why are you making me say it? I said, are you mad that I beat you? And this was like when I first started roping, not probably a year in. And I said, are you mad that I beat you?
No, I was not mad he beat me. I was proud that he beat me.
You know, hey, I want to say this right now. If you ever decide that you want to quit roping, I will give you a clown barrel, okay?
He'd be good at it. You'd
I
have
think
fun with
so.
him.
It's
Yeah.
just terrible.
Hey.
He's so shy on the mic.
And then when you hey, I got an idea. You should be a RümpChät endorsee. It doesn't pay anything.
No.
But you get a cool patch.
Oh, I like that.
Would you wear some
All right.
patches for free?
Yes.
Let's
Okay,
draw-
you guys
let's
all see it.
Let's draw up that contract.
Let's shake hands on it right here.
All right.
Okay.
There you go. Thanks, Kaysen. All right, guys.
Well,
Well, thank you so much, JJ,
Thanks
for taking the
having me. I
time.
appreciate the time, and I'm so excited. I'm the first Brave Roper on RümpChät.
Yeah.
Our favorite break- Ladies and gentlemen, our favorite breakaway roper
That's right.
is JJ Hampton, 18-time world champion.
Yes.
Soon to be 19.
Yep, for sure.
We'll get it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. We'll be back here at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Jeff Metters from the Cowboy Channel is going to come and talk some crap.
Saturday, we're having Joe Beaver.
Joe
so
B will be on.
1 o'clock right here.
I think Riley Duvall's coming tomorrow, too.
Yeah, and if you guys want to
Speaking
listen,
of Duval.
don't forget, you can listen to this whole episode anywhere you find your podcast. We'll have it uploaded to iTunes.
Yep.
So be sure to check it out. You can download it for your drive home. On behalf of Pete Cardio, Buckleboard Manscaped, our
Pendleton.
friend Pendleton
Oh, yeah,
Whiskey,
RümpChät 20.
Soon to be JJ Hampton, Realty.
JJ Hampton Realty on the board.
That can be done.
Yeah, Manscaped. Don't forget, enter the code RUMPCHAT20 for 20% off and free shipping.
It's holiday season.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be smoothed up in the right spots.
Don't be a stocking stuffer.
You're an idiot.
Okay.
See you, everybody.
You better have your hair weave strapped on tight. Cause once we get going, we rolling. We'll cha-cha till the morning. So just say alright, alright.